The Simpsons just did a parody of White Lotus, and it was really good. Let's talk about it.
The Yellow Lotus, a luxury 5-star resort, has opened its teakwood doors to Springfield's neediest minority, the wealthy elite.
What's up, guys? It's Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. Hit the subscribe button for more Simpsons content and more pop culture content. Let's do it. Okay, so I wasn't planning on covering more Simpsons episodes on this channel, but my last video on the season premiere, Bart's birthday, actually did really well. So I thought I'd at least cover the second episode to ride off the success of that video. And I just finished watching it and it was honestly a great episode. We see the return of Sideshow Bob, who is genuinely a fan favorite and a Mike favorite, as in me, Mike.
What never, no never, what never, hardly ever, he's hardly ever sick at sea.
In a White Lotus style parody, which was just incredible, accurate, on point, all at once. Thinking back to the golden age era of The Simpsons that I loved growing up, and it's crazy how many movie, TV show, and real life parodies they did in that show. And not just in like the Treehouse of Horror episodes where they like directly parody horror movies.
You've got the shinin.
You mean shining.
Shh.
Even going back to one of the earliest Sideshow Bob episodes, Cape Fear.
Hey kid, wanna drive through that cactus patch?
Yeah.
No.
Whoop, 2 against 1.
When I watched that episode as a kid, I thought it was amazing and funny and scary and all of the above. But only when I became an adult did I understand that this was a literal parody of a movie called Cape Fear, down to the fact that they used the same music from the movie, which ended up becoming Sideshow Bob's theme.
What's that mean?
That means we're doing something right.
And there are so many movies I have seen in adulthood where I'm like, oh, I've seen this before. And it ends up being because I saw it in a Simpsons episode when I was a kid. That's why I think it's great that The Simpsons is doing parodies of current pop culture like The White Lotus, which is absolutely one of the biggest and most popular shows of the current decade.
Did you guys see the sky this morning? It was so gorgeous.
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
If you're not familiar, White Lotus is directed and written by Mike White, the same guy who actually did School of Rock.
You tip it on the side, cello, you've got a bass.
Now that is one of the most iconic millennial movies of all time. And it's kind of like a dark comedy series about a fictional chain of hotels called the White Lotus and the very rich and wealthy people that stay there.
Please, these gays, they're trying to murder me.
And murder is often involved. And the attention to detail in this parody is so good. The Simpsons parodies the theme music to White Lotus really well. Like, it almost sounds like it is the same theme, but it is just a slightly different but stylistically similar song with lyrics that critique the show's whole premise.
Hot bodies and murder, rich, sexy people behaving badly.
Now you might be thinking, how did the Simpsons make their way to the Yellow Lotus if it's like a millionaire's hotel? And we get a flashback to them in the past where they purchase a timeshare in this business. Good to see a Homer with hair and a young pregnant Marge again, as well as an unborn Bart already up to no good.
Question, is he mooning me? The baby's behind speaks for us all when it says we should leave now.
And we see many of Springfield's elite staying at the Yellow Lotus, including Dr. Hibbert and his wife, where there is a slight subplot involved around her being addicted to pills.
I'm so glad I married a doctor.
Sideshow Mel is there, and I wouldn't have picked him as like super loaded, but I guess working in entertainment, there's a lot of money there. Take it from me. Don't take it from me, but if you do want to help me make money, watch more of my videos and hit the subscribe button. We also see Mayor Quimby, and of course we see iconic character Sideshow Bob returning again. And Bob is up to his old tricks again, dating a new character who is definitely based on Jennifer Coolidge's character from White Lotus.
I love the Yellow Lotus resorts. So many beautiful bodies, especially the dead ones.
Jennifer Coolidge played this character in both the first and second seasons of White Lotus. And to be honest, I'm surprised they didn't get her as the voice actor.
Is it existential crisis beware? Or is it beware like the egg salad's gone bad?
I mean, I am 99.99999999999% sure that this isn't Jennifer Coolidge. It's just someone who has been told to sound like Jennifer Coolidge. But the character design is clearly based on her. But with the slew of like guest stars that have been on The Simpsons over the last 30 years, including but not limited to Tony Hawk,
I hope you don't mind living below a bunch of pro skaters who like to party.
Daniel Radcliffe,
There's no way to say what the bird thinks.
Ron Howard, and even Tom Hanks last week.
I rented a tux for this!
I just can't believe they couldn't get Jennifer Coolidge to come in and do these lines. That being said, I've heard Tom Hanks charges a premium for his services, so it could be to do with that. Sideshow Bob is with the Jennifer Coolidge type character and is planning on murdering her to take her money. No sign of Sideshow Bob's wife and child from the previous episodes. Then again, I've missed a lot of Simpsons lore, so maybe they are no longer together. I don't know, but yeah, they weren't here. We get a return of the classic rake gag from Sideshow Bob, which first appeared in the aforementioned Cape Fear episode and is probably one of The Simpsons' most beloved and iconic gags of all time.
I invented a rake with a collapsible handle. No more head bonks.
And I guess this is kind of played for a cheap laugh, but that being said, I am all for The Simpsons using like nostalgia and memories of iconic quotes to make me laugh. I want them to lean into that. I want them to lean into their history and their past and use it so old fans of the show like me still get a huge laugh out of it and remember the good old days. And speaking of, we also get a return of one of the most iconic memes made out of The Simpsons, which is the Homer retreating into the hedge meme.
Marge, do what I do.
Again, I just love that The Simpsons has this self-awareness and meta-ness to it now. Like, that has just taken on a life of its own in the online pop culture space, and now it is being referenced again, like maybe 20 years after that moment aired. It's quite special to me, and I don't think many shows could do jokes like this that are specifically for the longtime fans and the online audience. And like I said in my last episode, I think that's what The Simpsons is about in 2024. It's like reminding millennials and Gen Zs and people who grew up watching the show about how life was back then. And every time I see a back reference gag like this, it just honestly makes me feel warm and bubbly inside. Maybe that's just the tacos I had for lunch though. I'm not sure. There are also references to the episode in which Sideshow Bob marries Selma and tries to kill her.
Bob married my sister for her money, and she has way less than you.
And the classic response to Sideshow Bob appearing of, "Ah, Sideshow Bob!" happens again here.
Sideshow Bob!
I guess the twist at the end of the episode is that Bob, in fact, never actually intended on murdering the Jennifer Coolidge character, but she ends up, unfortunately, pushing him off a cliff.
Oh no, Bob! What have I done?
That being said, he does survive, he is okay, and he sees Sideshow Mel, I guess his replacement on the Krusty show, but they greet each other like old friends and say, "We've got to catch up sometime."
Mel, my bestie Krusty.
The three of us should have lunch.
Yes, but not this week. I'm doing a cleanse.
I just thought that was a great gag, and honestly, I gotta say, I am so keen to watch this season of The Simpsons. I'm not sure if I'll cover every episode on this channel, but if a special one like this happens, I definitely will, because here is The Simpsons doing a nostalgia-packed episode based on a TV show that is currently trending, right? I think this has all of the benchmarks of what makes The Simpsons great. It's self-referential, it is critiquing pop culture, it is critiquing what life is like in a Western society, and I just loved this episode so much, and the first two episodes of this season make me so excited for the season ahead. And to be honest, to all of the people who say like Simpsons is terrible now, like I think you're wrong. I think The Simpsons is a different show to what it was 20 years ago, 25 years ago, but how could it not be? I really believe that this show still has an audience, and it's still fun and it's still funny, and yeah, I really liked it. Whew, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hey, if you like this video, check out my video from last week on the season premiere / the series finale of The Simpsons, if you want to call it that. You can also check out a bunch of my other pop culture videos. I did the whole season of Futurama that just ended. I did videos on every single episode, unpacking them. I've also done a bunch of South Park analysis, and every week on this channel, I have kind of 3 pop culture kind of topical videos. So check out all of my content. I also have a Patreon. If you want to support me, please subscribe to my Patreon, chuck a couple bucks my way if you enjoy these videos. I do a blog on mental health, pop culture, and being a millennial and how they all intersect. That is out every fortnight on a Sunday. Check that out. The link is down below. And I have a bunch of other content, including a Harry Potter fan fiction podcast that is me reading out fan fiction I wrote when I was 13 years old. I'm all over the internet doing dumb stuff that I think is cool, so I'd love to see you there. That's pretty much it from me. My name is Radio Mike. This has been The Inside of My Mind, and I'll catch you later.